Yeah, so we always at times miss out what we are here for. As in, we are in the business of selling jewelry, but we are also in the business of happiness. Consumers come to our stores to share happiness. And I think it's a great business to be. But again, go back to the year 1947, which is a very important year for us. Our country got independence. But even for the diamond business, that was a very important year. In that same year, a lady called Frances Grady, who's a copywriter in J.W. Thompson, who was an advertising agency then, wrote a small line which actually changed the way diamonds meant and felt what the consumers felt about them. She wrote a line, "A diamond is forever." And that really started, till December of 1946, diamonds sold as a commodity. So there was a price that was attached to the commodity. And from 1947, the emotiveness of what diamonds do came alive. And all of us know that today when you talk about diamonds, and when I talk to my friends who are outside of the business, there's a curious question as to what is the cost of the diamond? What does it cost? And the cost of the diamond is how much a consumer puts and what he thinks the price is. And that's fundamentally what it is. And when a diamond is exchanged between two people, it reflects, a whole lot of things. It reflects about permanence. It reflects about what it is, as entirety. But when it gets exchanged on the lighter note, three people get impacted. One, a man who's, perhaps I'm just saying a man, but a man who buys it, something impacts on his pocket. Yeah, something impacts to the one who gets it. She feels good, and also people watching it, something happened to them. So it's a impactful combination of emotions that happen. But again, as diamonds, when I say that we represent diamonds, it's also about the storytelling, which is important. And all of you who are in this business, never miss that out. Now, when we go out, we have a choice that if the consumer is walking in, we have one choice of saying, that's the label, that's the price, that's my calculator, very strong tools, can I give a discount and make that transaction? Or, essentially recognize the reason that the consumer is here and looking up to you to say, why am I here? And to share, some happiness that she or he as a family want to get. But also, it'll be great and it will be our role to get into the storytelling of what our industry and the category is. Now, few things about diamonds, and I'll just not getting into detail. We say a diamond is forever, but that simple line holds a fundamental truth because diamonds have been around forever and ever. सबसे तरुण हीरा, सबसे the youngest diamond that we've mined is 100 crore years old. Now, we sell diamonds every day. There's great amount of traction happening outside at IHS, but at times we miss that out. And that's what's perhaps is required is storytelling. We talk about diamonds are rare. If we mine every single diamond that has ever mined in the history of humanity, we fit into one double-decker bus of Bombay City with a lot of room to spare. Now, these are elements around storytelling that everybody bring up. But again, for today's context, I was thinking that, and again, we can have a broader discussion once we hear from Amish as well, but I'd like to focus on two broad areas. One, around the retail part of it and what you do as retail and what storytelling happens there, and also around the brand part of it. And all projections are that if we have to be in the business of diamonds and jewelry, right now, you could say we are in a commoditized business, but the whole direction is that consumers are going to get more and more inclined towards brands, towards offerings, towards collaborations, and an emotive appeal, right? And it becomes our role as organizations, as retailers, as manufacturers to bring that story alive. So just really reflecting on a few things. So when you look at retail broadly, which is what I'm going to talk a little upon. So if you look at these two broad stores, both of them we work with as an organization. But when you look at, and of course, I just didn't want to sort of say a name, but a very modern store, one of our very important partners in North India, great facade, beautiful store. And when you look at this facade and you see the store, there is something that comes alive as an impression that you'll create. So when you talk about storytelling of your retail and of a brand, it starts from the combination of all the touch points, the print, the digital, the advertising, the communication, how we dress, but most importantly, the most permanent aspect about our business is the retail. Now, it's important that it starts there. We need to really keep in mind that if I have a brand or a story that I want to create or whatever is of a certain kind, it starts from how the outside world looks at us. Now, even if you look at these two stores, on the right side, you would perhaps feel more opulence. You'll say, man, that'll be too expensive. There are pros and cons to it. And everybody needs to really craft out their story. It doesn't need to be that either of them is good or bad. It is about what is your journey. And कोई कुछ गलत नहीं है. अपने business में आपको अपनी तरफ से देखने का है कि where am I on this journey? But craft your story. Craft your story as to what it will mean to be in retail, if we are in retail or if you're in any other business, but do have a story. What amplification, किस तरह वो सामने अपने customer के सामने alive किया जाए is totally a different subject. But do craft your story. What is my price point? What is it that you want the customer to see? Now, in the right side, there will be, the first impression one would get is that only a certain kind of a consumer will go, and that's consciously they've chosen to do it. On the left side, perhaps a slightly more broader store, more approachable, different lines, but choose your story, and then it has to be reflected in every element you do. आपका brochure बनेगा, has to reflect a bit of your story. आपका एक ad आएगा, that has to reflect a bit of your story. आपका sales staff टाई लगा के बैठेगा, कि सूट पहन के बैठेगा, कि casual रहेगा, is a reflection of your story. And I think that retail in our business is extremely important. I mean, Manishi is a master of not just data. I know him from my early days of my career. We've seen brands together, and as brands, every touch point matter. In De Beers, we talk about live the diamond dream. I mean, you have to live. I mean, the question of often we get asked is, कि भाई अगर एक brochure बनता है, for example, the simple question is it up to diamonds? I mean, simple question. It's not, you have to apply a lot of science in it. कि भाई, ये 2 mm का है, 1 mm का है, printing quality कैसा है? Simple question is it up to diamonds? Do you think this should be reflective of diamonds? That's the way we look at it. And everybody has to craft that story. Immaterial, your retail, immaterial, your manufacturing, whatever part of work you're doing. And just, Anil had also asked me is to also reflect, there's some examples of how we do it in the world of Forever Mark, how, again, one of our partner stores, this is the same store actually, how we crafted together. But again, reflection of what the consumer is perceiving without you talking. It's a silent storytelling, and that reflects on what you're really doing. And commonly on the brand, I mean, also on the part of the retail also I want to talk about, that what you see on the right is again a storytelling way that we do in retail. So this is what we call as an experience wall that we created. Today about 100 of our stores have this wall. And if you really look at it, what does it do? It highlights what diamonds do good. It highlights the rarity of the diamond. Some little tidbits of diamonds, which is, I think, extremely, extremely important अगर आपके दिमाग में आपका target audience कुछ younger consumer है. Today the younger consumers are not sort of bogged down by luxury. They're not bulldozed by the same rituals that we or our parents went through. They will choose a category based on their terms. And one of the important element that I always reflect is, कई बार हमारी बातें होती हैं as an industry that A retailer versus B retailer competition है, that retailer did a better job, which is all good. But genuinely, our competition is with retail, is with the outer world. I mean, are we as good enough as a Nike store? Are we good enough as a Cartier store? Those are the questions. And the fact is that this is a very small, very simple implementation we've done. We thought about this in India. This is now happening where simple ways a consumer interacts. And a simple thing like this, of course, it does a lot of storytelling about what diamonds do. But जब ये दुकान में होता है, younger consumer gets attracted to it. Secondly, it's a lot of digital in this. So the average time a consumer is spending the time goes dramatically up. So different ways of doing it. But again, craft your story, and there are different ways on how people can help you implement or make it alive on retail. Now, again, on the brand, I think the key is always and always, please keep the purpose of the industry in mind. I mean, for us, we really get too bogged down that am I in the business of VVS, am I in 4-grainers, 2-grainers, G-color, H-color, all that is good, but that's not what the story, what is the purpose of diamonds. And the moment we have that captured in our offering, all of these things become subset. At times, largely, whenever I see it, I see a large part of our offerings and what we do, we miss out the purpose of why a consumer will come to us. And I was really doing a round of the IIJS with a very critical eye. I found 4 stores where that got reflected. I really went up to them, 2 of the people I did not know at all, and I went up to them to compliment because they reflected the purpose of what Gold was doing to a consumer here, and people get inspired. And I would, again, go back to your businesses, have in mind what is the purpose I'm here, and that has to get reflected in what you do. And one of the things that is a current theme, because the consumer is asking for, but as De Beers, I feel greatly proud about the organization that I'm in, and there's great amount of work that happens, not because it is a tick box to be ticked. We've worked with the communities where we mine, lots of work happens on the nature, and great amount of work that's done, where we are 100% confident that diamonds do good. And today's time, it is almost necessary that we amplify these stories as an industry. So I wanted to share with you again as a part of storytelling as one, but also very strong content. We've tied up with National Geographic. It's a first of a kind joint venture that a diamond company has done. And this is the joint venture enables in Okavango Delta, which in Botswana is the richest source where you have the finest animals moving freely. Naturally, it's a delta where it's actually blocked from all four sides. We would have seen in a lot of cartoon movies and stuff and a lot of places this area. But again, like we talk about rivers in India which have a challenge, the whole water system in Okavango Delta has gone under tremendous pressure. And it's going to impact the natural world. So this joint venture with National Geographic is going to impact this positively. Now, again, how would this impact a retail consumer? That is the important thing that consumers today want. So we've now, all our partners of De Beers and Forevermark will have a right to use this partnership, the logos and everything, but non-connected stuff as well, showing the storytelling. So in the interest of time, I'll show you a short video on this, this tie-up. But again, consider this not about the phenomenal thing as one company is doing. Everybody is in their own journey. Find your space. Don't have to sort of get bogged down that it's only the role of a De Beers or that if I don't have a big subject, only then I can start. Craft your own story. It could be a short story. You can elongate it, make some points of it, but that has to get reflected in the way you conduct the outside world. So if you can please have the video.
This is the Okavango Delta, a vibrant wetland known as the jewel of the Kalahari Desert. Some of the rarest species on Earth, and over 1 million people rely on the pristine waters that flow from Angola to the Delta here in Botswana. But the system that sustains it is under threat. Climate change, unchecked commercial agriculture, and water diversion are risking its future. Many kilometers south of the Delta, De Beers has spent more than half a century discovering diamonds in partnership with the people of Botswana, helping to protect the country's land and support its communities. Now De Beers has joined National Geographic in its effort to help protect this water system.
1, 2, 3.
Alongside Southern African communities, governments, De Beers and National Geographic will work together, supporting wildlife protection so animals can move freely across borders, helping local people prosper in harmony with nature, and making sure that life-giving water continues to flow. All to help ensure the wonders of the Okavango Delta are protected forever.
Thanks, Alan. I think the whole reflection is that it's not about, again, don't feel alienated with this. The key is all of this is a part of our industry and has to get reflected in some way, depending on where your story is. So I think with this opening, maybe Anil, you can take it forward and we'll open up later for questions.
Thank you, Sachin. Very interesting story and a nice video. I had not seen it earlier. So in the digital world, all of us are obsessed with call to action. Don't be. If you have a good story, call to action will happen automatically. In the video that you saw, the beggar's video, that begging bowl is the call to action. And he doesn't really have to push it. The money pours. So when you are telling a story, what you say is of course very important, but how you say it is equally important. You have to build a common ground. It's a beautiful day. The customer nods. Yeah. So he agrees with you. So when he's on the same level, you build empathy and not sympathy. It's a beautiful day, but I can't see it. So naturally the audience feels we are empowered. We can see the beautiful day, but this poor man can't. So sympathy versus empathy. So recently, Harvard Business School did a consumer survey. 2,500 people were interviewed And what is the result of the study is, I'm sharing it with you. On an average, 30% of human beings daydream. We are daydreaming, all of us, 30% of the time. Unless we are listening to a story, reading a story, or watching a story unfold on the screen. So if your story is not interesting, people will not listen to you. And there is a scientific reason. Because while I'm talking to you, I can talk to you with a speed of 250 words per minute. But your capacity is to listen 500 words per minute. So if I cannot engage you, that spare capacity, our mind wanders. So with these thoughts, let's hear Ramesh sir, because he is an authority on storytelling. He has got various accreditations from international institutes. And I'm looking forward to working on a program for the jewelry industry. So Ramesh ji, most welcome. Please begin your presentation.